New Year starts with the new moon on the first day of the new year and ends on the full moon 15 days later. Changjiar is the oldest renowned street in Beijing. It is the center stage for New Year parades and temple fair that has started 400 years ago. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are celebrated as a family affair, a time of reunion and thanksgiving. The celebration was traditionally highlighted with a religious ceremony given in honor of heaven and earth.
Welcome to Changjiar Beijing Temple Fair. Welcome to TRAVELOGUE. And this is the best thing during the Chinese longest holiday, which is New Year. This starts first day of the New Year and lasts for 6 days. People come over here, you can find all kinds of interesting items. Flowers and kites, crafts, and even antique. The most of all you will find, you can see here, it's people. There's 100,000, 200,000 people all over. Many, many fun things. There's a food. Ooh, nice.
Food is always an important segment of any holiday in China. Changjiar Temple Fair is no exception. One of the favorite and most typical dishes were niangao, sweet steamed glutinous rice pudding, and zheng, glutinous rice wrapped up in reed leaves, another popular delicacy. In the north, steamed wheat bread and a small wheat dumpling were the preferred food. The tremendous amount of food prepared at this time was meant to symbolize abundance and wealth for the household. The typical holiday sweets also include fruit stick and candy bar. Street parade is the most popular and best entertainment segment during the temple fair. For example, drum band marching the street and zhongfan, the Chinese bamboo flag presented within martial arts, are both unique and striking to the audience. Liulichang Alley sits in the southwest of the center of Beijing. It only takes 2 kilometers come from Tiananmen Square. It used to be a market for antique collectors. Also, there are many bookshops around here, and they're famous. Everybody know about that. There are lots of hutongs like this. In about 400 years ago, Liulichang Alley in Beijing was famous for its antique search and book collection business. In about the 20s and 30s, Changjiang Temple Fair attracted lots of people. After Chinese New Year, the first day on the Chinese Lunar New Year calendar, people come here, have fun. Liulichang was called Haiwangchun in the past. It was a Chinese courtyard-style shopping center covering an area of 1,500 square meters. It deals in tons of thousands of Chinaware of different dynasties, animal jade articles, metal and stone seal cuttings, and 4 treasures of the study and courier. Every New Year, the temple fair in conjunction with street parade had attracted thousands of people in decades. It used to be the center stage for Beijing residents to celebrate the first day of New Year. The spirit of the fair was a sign of the society for happiness and joy. It was initiated in Ming Dynasty. Liulichang had been booming for a great period of time in Qing Dynasty. It was put on hold for a while during the China Civil War. Then it has been reopened in a more modern way. If you are a traveler or antique collector, then you can try your luck here and find your favorite items in a long, narrow, or rather a little messy street. In the past, scholars and researchers had to come to Liulichang to find books and references they need. Candidates for emperor's exam also came here to buy books and look for help in Chinese literature. In the year of 1773, Liulichang Culture Street became even more prosperous within the period of Qianlong Emperor in Qing Dynasty. China Bookstore used to be called Cathay Bookshop. It collects many old traditional books. It can trace hundreds of years' history. Whoops. I think there's a little mistake. Established in 1952, China Bookstore is the first state-owned bookshop collecting and repairing used books. For the past 50 years, China Bookstore has restored more than 300,000 precious Asian books. It is regarded as a patron saint of China traditional culture. China Bookshop mainly issue books on literature, history, philosophy, arts, calligraphy, and collections. Meanwhile, it circulates in a wide range of used books and magazines. In China Bookshop, recorded that one of the oldest terms for China is 中国, which means Middle Kingdom. One explanation sometimes disputed is that the Chinese regarded as China the center of the civilized world, surrounded by barbarians. The English word China seems to derive from the Qing dynasty, which is year 221 to 206 BC, during which the Great Wall was built. Whenever there's a street parade in China, we will never miss the line dance and acrobatic show. The first day of the Lunar New Year is the welcoming of the gods of the heavens and earth. Many people abstained from meat on the first day of the new year because it is believed that this will ensure long and happy lives for them. On the second day, the Chinese pray to their ancestors as well as to all the gods. They're extra kind to dogs and feed them well, as it is believed that the second day is the birthday of all dogs. Okay, pretty good. Okay, 你可以走了。
有叫狗。
叫我。别这样啊。
叫领导。
师傅好。你好 ，Hello China， 你好。
挡着这个眼。
这不哦，还得挡这个。这玩意儿不好玩，玩这个也不好玩。多少钱一个？15。$2. If you know how to play, you want to be a musician. $2. Probably 10 years practice. You'll be a great musician like this guy, right? Woo!
The third and fourth days of the new year are for the sons-in-laws to pay respect to their parents-in-law, and this information is being carried out on the stage show, Beijing Opera.
干嘛来了？
我买点粗点香看着来了。唐朝为我，我碰上娘，三生。 旗下将领18朝，挑拨身份，塞外不忘你，月夜少数专家，问亲家还乡来探母，唐先是奉定晨昏，倘若是老来眼花目不明，我说你真正的引路人，老来都与众不凡，我说你头中的长一根，一抬二斤市场腰到了买面头。
You know, one thing is very helpful is tourist book. Everywhere I go, I try to find a tourist book. From this one, they show me on the Lulichang Street, there's so many antique stores and also historical stores like a bookshop, Catholic bookshop, and that one, Rongbaozhai, that has hundreds of years history. It's still existing today. And I read that from the book. I gotta go see what's inside.
Rongbaozhai, located at the west street of Liulichang. The building is in a grand royal style that has more than 300 years of history. It was founded by Song Zuzhai as a paper shop in 1672.
Rongbaozhai has a large collection of 4 treasure items of studies in Chinese tradition. It includes brush paint, painting paper, ink, and ink slab. And it says if you want to find the best quality throughout China, this Rongbaozhai is the place to find. But you have to do your own calculation.
Brushes and ink had already existed by the 14th century BC. By the time of the bamboo sleeves and silk books, brushes and ink had been in wide use for a long time. During the spring and autumn and warring states period, which is about 772 BC, the quality of ink greatly improved. In the Han Dynasty, pine soot was first used in ink making. As to paper, historical records and unearthed artifacts provide evidence that the Chinese people began to use paper as early as the 3rd century BC, at the beginning of the Western Han. Chinese tradition brush painting has a long history. The earliest Chinese painting in between 5000 to 2000 BC were on ceramics and metals to symbolize the respect of religious and magic. The painting gradually shifted to a stylistic stage. The tools used for brush painting are called 4 treasures of stationery. The fifth day of Chinese New Year is called 破五. On that day, people stay home to welcome the gods and wealth. No one visits families and friends on the fifth day because it will bring both parties bad luck. And the 6th to the 10th day, the Chinese visit their relatives and friends freely. They also visit the temples to pray for good fortune and health. Prior to New Year's Day, Chinese families decorate their living rooms with vases of pretty blossoms. Planters of oranges and tangerines and a candy tree with 8 varieties of dry sweet fruit. On walls and doors are poetic couplets, happy wishes written on red paper. These messages sound better than the typical fortune cookies message. For instance, may you enjoy continuous good health, and may the star of happiness, the star of wealth, and the star of longevity shine on you, are especially positive couplets. Street parade is the most popular and best entertainment segment during the temple fair. For example, drum band marching the street and zhongfan, the Chinese bamboo flag presented within martial arts, are both unique and striking to the audience. Of any holiday in China, Chang'an Temple Fair is no exception. One of the favorite and most typical dishes were niangao, sweet steamed glutinous rice pudding, and zheng, glutinous rice wrapped up in reed leaves, another popular delicacy. In the north, steamed wheat bread and a small wheat dumpling were the preferred food. The tremendous amount of food prepared at this time was meant to symbolize abundance and wealth for the household. The typical holiday sweets also include fruit stick and candy bar. With a religious ceremony given in honor of heaven and earth.
Welcome to Changjiang Beijing Temple Fair. Welcome to TRAVELOGUE. And this is the best thing during the Chinese longest holiday, which is New Year. This starts first day of the New Year and lasts for 6 days. People come over here, you can find all kinds of interesting items. Flowers and kites, craft, and even antique. The most of all you will find, you can see here, it's people. There's 100,000, 200,000 people all over. Many, many fun things. There's a food, ooh, nice.
Food is always an important segment. Chinese New Year starts with the new moon on the first day of the new year and ends on the full moon 15 days later. Changjiang is the oldest renowned street in Beijing. It is the center stage for New Year parades and temple fair that has started 400 years ago. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are celebrated as a family affair, a time of reunion and Thanksgiving. The celebration was traditionally highlighted